on. Hey everybody, haven't done this in fucking ages. I'm Quote. We're doing the PSPW podcast again. Woo! Sorry for being gone forever. I was in the process of moving and stuff like that, and finding a place to actually set up my computer so I can record and not feel like I'm sitting in the corner of a room. Peef is gone forever. He decided that real life obligations are more important than spending free time on the internet. Fuck that guy. We have Bhris and Umbra here as usual, and we also have a special guest. My name is CasedVictory.
What's poppin'? My name is CasedVictory. I hate WWE, and I'm here to discuss why I hate it.
I like that. I like that a lot. I like that energy.
Yeah. That's a good attitude to have in this podcast. So, we've been gone for a while. A bunch of stuff has happened in our absence. There's been, crazy stuff happening on Raw and SmackDown somehow. The Mae Young Classic happened. More nonsense with GFW. Progress had a really good show. New Japan had a really bad show, which was funny. Fukushima was a fucking train wreck. Oh boy. There's been a lot of stuff going down. Oh, also I think No Mercy is coming up in a week. Week and a half, with a really good main event lined up. Lesnar versus Strowman. I'm actually really excited for that. Strowman has been built up so fucking well. He's been built up beautifully. I don't remember the last time I've really seen someone be properly built up and actually have the fans accept them. Because with Reigns over the past few years, they've been trying to make him look like a really, really good guy, really strong guy, but no one's really buying it. People are just yeah, whatever. He was still just some dude that can't talk, can't really do much. But with Strowman, they have all these neat and innovative ways to make him look good. And he's actually, getting over with the fans, too. I fucking love him. Every time he pops up on TV for me, I get excited because he's about to do something fucking crazy. Whether it's, throwing Big Show through a cage or, flipping over an ambulance or whatever. Oh, man.
Or no-selling Lesnar.
Yeah, just because, normally when Lesnar suplexes somebody, they basically just die. But he pops right up, and oh, my God.
I seriously think the last guy that did get built up like this was Lesnar.
Probably, yeah. Lesnar went on weird.
Lesnar
when he first came back.
Lesnar won everything in his first year. If only they could have done that with Braun.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's
Wyatt family. We all hated him. It happens.
Yeah. He was, he wasn't ready when he joined the Wyatt family, which, in a way, I guess was shouldn't have been on TV, but
I mean, in this first year of him breaking off, it would have been awesome if he could have won the Rumble at least.
That would have been cool.
I always like to think there's a parallel universe in the world where what if Wyatt got to push instead of Reigns, and I've always contemplated what would happen if Wyatt actually won feuds.
Oh my God! Yeah, he totally should have won at least a couple more feuds. I've seen some footage and read some stories of him at house shows, and the dude is apparently amazing at house shows.
He
puts in a ton of effort, and he's just totally out of character the whole time. Apparently he just does crotch chops all over the place, just telling people to suck it. It's fucking great.
Yeah, house shows are fun.
I remember I saw a picture of Wyatt at a house show, and he got cut open on his hand, and he raised this kendo stick, and there was blood gushing all down his arm.
Yeah,
really cool. I mean, he's no titty master, but
Who likes Dean Ambrose? Come on. Nobody likes him.
That's probably the one good thing I can say about house shows, because what I generally read, because I haven't been to a live event since the 90s, at least for WWE. But a lot of reports that I get from house shows are that people just kind of phone it in, which is I think is actually okay, because if you're gonna have to fucking wrestle every goddamn day, then you probably should phone it in most of the time. But you do get those occasional moments where the guys are like, you know what, I'm bored, let's fuck around tonight, and then they just end up being complete goofballs. And that's I don't know, that's something that can be really good from house shows if they do that sort of thing more often. Like, if they actually use it for just like experimenting with like how they're going to go through feuds and stuff, or how they're going to like work with their characters and whatnot. I
think it'd be nice for some casual continuity, at least, just to mess around more.
I think one of the biggest problems, like, I have numerous problems with the way the company is right now, but I think my biggest problem is just how every feud seems to be in its own universe, sort of thing. Like, that wasn't something that happened during like the Attitude Era, with the way Russo would book things and how Kresge would write things. If you're not feuding with someone, that person essentially does not exist to a particular character. So you just have all these little things. It's like separate acts of a play almost. Instead of just one big show, it's a bunch of tiny shows. It's like some variety show, and it's really weird. But SmackDown this week, it was a bit different. Obviously, for the most part, it was still like a bunch of little pocket universes. But with the way they had Kevin Owens, going around and talking to all sorts of different people, it actually made me feel like that the show was all, one contained universe instead of just being all these like separate ones. He was talking to Sami Zayn and how, he would fire him like immediately after getting control, and talking to Aiden English and, putting him over as like a good singer who should, sing the intro to the show. I felt it was a really refreshing change of pace. It's not usually something we see. So that's something that I really liked from the show. Also, the Usos New Day match pissed me off that they're wrestling every fucking second. I love their matches.
I would have liked it to be kept for pay-per-view, that match.
I agree. I think a pay-per-view street fight would have been really nice, but I don't think we're getting another. I don't remember when Hell in a Cell is. Oh yeah, I think it's in like 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks, and apparently they're fighting in the Hell in a Cell.
I mean, I'm okay with them.
I think it's like in 4 weeks.
No, it's something like that.
All right, then never mind, because I kind of like that, because I like because Hell in a Cell should be where feuds end. That's the thing.
Hell in a Cell is October 8th.
Yeah, and that
that will end the feud.
Every feud right now has to end in Hell in a Cell, because that's what it is. It's the final chapter. It's the most violent thing in WWE history, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Plus, it gives them reason to start new feuds going into the Royal Rumble season, into Survivor Series and stuff, and the year.
The only issue with ending things in Hell in a Cell is that it's really hard sometimes to get a good match out of, even if Hell in a Cell isn't necessarily a gimmick match, it's just hard to get a good match, and I hate people end feuds on not great matches. That's just my...
Yeah.
And
I can kind of agree with that. I think generally my issue with Hell in a Cell is that, like, a Hell in a Cell match will either be, like, an all-time great because, they put, like, so much work into it, or it ends up being, like, completely forgettable, which sucks so much. But, like, when I think of some recent Hell in a Cell matches, like, we had, like, Taker Shane at Mania, and other than the fact that it was, booked as, like, a big spectacle and stuff, the match itself wasn't really that good. It was just two old dudes, like, kind of flailing their arms around for half an hour, and then Shane fucking
stalling.
Yeah.
I think what needs to set them apart is, like, when they spill out of the cell itself. No.
Yeah.
I think the tag team one needs to get out of the cell to make the most of it.
And they probably will. They'll probably be knowing those two teams. They'll probably be all over the place in that cell. Like, that should be that. I think that's the only match really where I can see them in the cell, like having that match in the cell, because the other ones, what is it, like Shane Owens, and I think there might be a third one. I don't know when.
Maybe Shinsuke.
God, make any damn sense though, because that feud has just been so flaccid.
It keeps the Singh brothers out of the match. I guess.
I'm sure it does.
To the ring or something.
I've heard that I think Mahal's going to be the champion until WrestleMania.
I'm not mad at it.
No. Please no.
I don't know who's next. As dumb as it sounds, who's really built up on SmackDown? I don't, because I'm gonna if I have to go through Cena, if Cena goes back to SmackDown and play the American card against Mahal.
Please no.
Nah, Cena's staying on Raw till Mania. Has to.
If it's Randy versus Mahal again, please shoot me. If it's Cena versus Mahal, please shoot me.
I thought
honestly,
for Reigns.
Yeah.
No, because he still has to fight Joe.
And Braun. Well, Braun in a legit match.
Because he was supposed to fight Joe at No Mercy. So Joe got injured.
Right, I forgot that Joe's still hurt. I think he should be good soon, though.
The end of October.
Like 3 weeks.
No, the end of October. He's coming back.
Joe, he's going to make a run in at some. He's going to make a run in. That's just the way things are going to go, because that's what happens with. Yeah, that's as predictable as they can get. He's not going to show up one week if nothing happened. They're just going to let him run into a pay-per-view match.
Yeah, I could see him interfering in a No Mercy match of some sort. Shit. At this point, honestly, when the champion himself, Jinder, isn't really looking like a champion, and no one else around him looks like a viable competitor, what the hell do you do? I know we could say, well, just grab a jobber, build him up for 6 weeks, bam, slap a title on him, but Jesus Christ.
I think the only way they can do this is just have AJ be dual champion. I think that's the only way. I think that's the only way it works.
That Corbin feud is not ending anytime soon, though. That's the problem.
There's no way that happens. I'm not sure Vince. I know Vince, his mind has changed about Styles, but Vince wouldn't make anyone double champion without blaming them from the get-go.
Yeah, there'd have to be some major storyline reason for that to happen, in Braun's case.
Jinder would have to post a dick pic with a Nazi symbol on it.
yeah, it would have to be Jinder doing some whack shit.
And Jinder's too much of a good PR guy to actually do some stupid shit like that.
But at least we can take comfort in knowing that he's a good person. Because if he were a shitty dude in real life and shitty in the ring, I would just be so pissed off. But he's in good standing with the company, so I can't feel too bad. Obviously, I'm not really entertained by anything he's doing. Pikachu having a seizure. That's man. He busted out all the fucking 90s humor. When he dropped the constipated line, I was just instantly reminded of sitting in a first grade class calling my friends constipated, because that was just an insult that we used back then.
Who knows?
That promo definitely did one good thing for me. It definitely brought me back to 1999. So props to him, I guess.
What about the Pikachu line? You guys didn't find that hysterical? You guys didn't follow
No, that was
actually, I did laugh. I honestly did laugh at that, because I think part of it was I can't believe that was just said, but it made me laugh. So whatever works.
Cease and desist win.
Who knows? Maybe they put Bobby Roode in that spot.
I think that's the second option, is go Bobby.
I thought Roode would go for the United States title once. He's going to be a face for the next month, and then he's going to turn heel. But I don't know how. I don't think he should go straight for the.
I wouldn't mind him ripping it from Jinder. I'll take Bobby as champ as a face than Jinder.
There's nobody really good on that roster.
Exactly. Yeah, well, there's people who are good just in the wrong position, and it's hard to be in the wrong position when someone who wasn't in the wrong position is now champion. It's weird. Dolph's an afterthought. He always will be. so it's weird.
You just can't hot shot it. Can't hot shot it to Rusev. You can't hot shot it to Sammy. It's like,
You can't build up Luke Harper in 4 weeks. It's not believable.
Sadly.
Not at this point. At least in Jinder's case, he was like actively on TV and being used in the product before, getting a quick push. But
But
he was losing to Sammy.
Harper's just fucking disappeared, and he's been doing like movie shit. Good for him, I guess. But
last I knew, he was on house shows teaming with Sin Cara.
Yeah, he was wearing a mask and everything.
What the fuck?
Okay,
what are they doing?
Okay, how about this? You break up Cesaro and Sheamus, send Cesaro over, have Cesaro rip the title off Jinder.
Cesaro's never been a main champ. That's the problem.
Yeah, they'll never put the title on him, ever.
No, but you guys forget that that they're just gonna have to go through the Cesaro Sheamus feud again after they break up. So we're gonna get another best of 7.
No. Sheamus stays on Raw.
Oh no.
Not even against the idea of them having another best of 7. That shit was actually so good. I don't even mind.
I was upset because I thought the first 3 matches were kind of bad, and then the last 4 matches were really good, and I was just like, it confuses me when they're doing stuff really well. It's a hard-hitting, brutal match. It was like, why can't you do this more often? I know we might get sick of it eventually, but it's a lot more entertaining than having someone who has technical wrestling against Sheamus, who's it confuses me. I feel like
I wish they could just. Something we don't see a lot, and that we should see more often, is more like amicable splits with tag teams. Like I remember when Ryback broke up originally, they were they didn't feud. They were just we're not going to be a tag team anymore. Okay, see you later. And then they ended up having matches later on, but it wasn't part of the feud. It was just Ryback, squashing Axel, for instance. And even then, they still weren't super awful to each other in the ring. It was a sort of, sorry I have to do this, buddy, but I got to kill you. I would love to see a bit more of that, because I just hate the cliche of, oh, we're not a tag team anymore. Well, I suddenly hate your guts. That doesn't make any sense to me. Just because you're not, that'd be like if you have a job somewhere, you have a coworker or two that you really like, and then the second you stop working at the job, you just punch the ex-coworker in the face. No, that's not how life works. You say your goodbyes and then you leave. You don't take it out on them just because you weren't super successful or just because you wanted to go a different route. It's such a cliche.
Really wants the HBK Jannetty kind of thing to try and find a breakout guy. It just doesn't work.
Well, you don't really have to do that with Cesaro and Sheamus now, just because they've been around long enough. They're clearly.
I know, but that's how they usually do it. Crime Time, guys like that.
Yeah. It's easier to do it with newer tag teams as well. Two dudes that have never really had any sort of singles exposure. That's why I feel when Cesaro and Sheamus do break up, it'll end up to maybe a match, and maybe not even immediately. Maybe they'll just end up fighting each other a few weeks or a few months down the line. But I feel when they do finally split, it'll probably be a very quiet split, if anything. Hell, they might just end up writing one of them off TV for a while, so they can, I don't know, go do a movie or some crap, and then just have the other one just do singles matches.
Well,
and then when they finally bring back the other guy, it'll be whatever.
Sheamus is filming a movie, so it might be soon.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that.
We'll just write Sheamus off TV for a month or whatever. Okay, so let's talk about the Mae Young Classic, because we can get back to Raw and SmackDown chat and stuff, but I did want to talk about this because we haven't really covered it at all since we were on hiatus from the show. So, come and gone. First thing I want to get you guys' opinion on is, what did you of how the episodes were released as compared to the Cruiserweight Classic. Because with the Cruiserweight Classic, it was, a single episode a week. We ended up having a bit of something over the course of the summer. Whereas with the Mae Young Classic, we received 4 episodes right off the bat, the entire first round. And then we had 4 more episodes the week after, which was, everything else in the tournament. And then, this past Tuesday, we had the finals match.
I mean, it worked better. It, kept my interest up since we knew the finals was coming shortly. Even though we all knew the results as it is, it was good to see the matches.
Yeah, it was easy to binge watch, so I like that.
Yeah. I was kind of prefer that format just because it's something I've become used to, Netflix and whatnot, of just, here's an entire season of a show. Cool. I will sit down and watch this all in a first.
Plus 4 episodes.
I did kind of have an issue with the release time on it. I get obviously there's some post production and stuff, but I really hated the fact that we had to wait a month or a month and a half or something for the episodes to come out, especially when most people knew the results. That kind of annoyed me.
It was just the commentary that they needed to fix, apparently.
Commentary didn't fix anything.
The commentary was still shit.
Apparently there were audio issues, actually. Apparently there was some... That's what they're saying. They could be lying, obviously. But the reasoning they're using is that there was some sort of, audio glitch or something like that, and it just completely fried commentary for, the entirety of the first round.
Oh, wow.
They actually had to, go in and, redo that. But... what can I say about the Mae Young Classic with commentary? Oh, man. Lita and JR,
as much as I love JR, he has to go. He has to stop commentating.
JR, yeah.
Yeah, JR made a bunch of mistakes calling moves and stuff.
It hurt to listen to.
I mean, he's a 65-year-old guy, so we shouldn't take it out on him. He's been doing this a long time. But age is finally starting to show.
He's a fucking legend. He's one of the greats, if not the greatest commentator ever. But just because you're the GOAT doesn't mean you can do it forever.
I think what they should do if they use him is just let him do antidote kind of things. Say he talked to the towns, give them, and talk to the towns, and build up their story instead of trying to call the action.
I always wanted Jerry to be a manager, just to try it out. Because he's kind of one of those managers where, Paul Heyman never, went behind the scenes on the show and tried to, rig stuff like that with Lesnar. I guess because it's Lesnar, but I always thought Jerry was kind of awful at commentating. So I wanted to see what happens if you get,
Jerry or JR?
Oh, yeah, I was saying Jerry, but Jerry, yeah. But I know JR. That was my thing. I want him too. I want everyone to try their hand as managers.
Yeah, I'd be all right with seeing that. I think he can still talk pretty well in interviews and stuff. I just can't really take much of his commentary anymore. That just needs to never do that again. Actually, on the I think it was the Monday show where they had the 6-woman tag match and they had Beth Phoenix on commentary. She actually was not bad. Solid. I imagine nobody saw that match, which kind of sucks because Jazzy Gabber was awesome in that match. But yeah, Beth was actually decent. After Raw, they aired this little Road to Finals special or whatever, where they they were talking about Baszler and Sane, and they aired the 6-woman tag match that they had taped. Gabber and a few of the others. Yeah, it's not it's a good match. Beth Phoenix is on commentary for it, and she was a lot better than Lita. I'm not gonna say she was amazing or anything, but she was actually pretty solid on commentary.
Was it just out of curiosity? Was it because she wasn't doing as much or trying as hard? Because I think that's there's in terms some announcers like as long as you're not trying too hard and just kind of calling it how it is, just keep it simple. Or she actually like a really good.
It was kind of that in a sense, yeah. Like she wasn't like how Lita was, trying her damn hardest to be a commentator when she can't do it. Like she was just like very chill with it. It was very nice to listen to. So I'll say though, Lita during the finals was hilarious to listen to because she was like basically screaming by the end of it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that actually. I thought it was great. I was like, well, someone's got to start yelling. We haven't had any yet. Like JR's half asleep over there, so Lita might as well start yelling to wake him up.
You want to know who'd have been one of the best commentators for this?
So
Joey Styles. That way he can just show catfight.
Joey. Oh god, that would have been such a train wreck. It would have been really nice to get. It
would have been funny.
Would have been really nice if they got like the Cruiserweight Classic pair. Was it Bhris and Ronaldo?
Yep.
God, that they were so good. I love the commentary during the Classic
because they were invested.
Yeah, Bhris, like he surprised me. I was not expecting him to be that good of a commentator.
Same.
Because like he's normally so like deadpan, but like he's really smart with wrestling, obviously. But of course,
ever since he joined WWE, he's involved on the mic a lot.
Yeah, he has. Because Bhris was never really like known for his mic skills. Like he could be like goofy and stuff, like in PWG and whatnot, and he could still be likable. But like he was never really good on the mic until WWE.
I mean, my joke pairing for what I would have loved to see for a Trainwreck commentary team was Joey Styles and Scott Steiner for this tournament.
That would be fucking amazing. Oh my god. There would just be so much screaming.
Case would watch it just for Scott Steiner alone.
Oh, I'm the biggest Scott Steiner mark. And if it was on the refers to like them as hoes, I would be all for it. It has to happen. And he just has to he has to interfere in all the matches.
Yeah. Damn hoes. Oh, I love Scott Steiner. Fuck. Did any of you guys watch Slammiversary this year? Because the match that
no, I did not.
Like Scott's.
What the hell is that?
That's the
the big TNA pay-per-view.
TNA doesn't exist. It's not a company.
Impact.
It doesn't exist.
PSPW, whatever.
No, that doesn't exist either.
You don't exist. Okay, so I'll just say, I've said it on the podcast before, Slammiversary was good, but that match in particular was so fucking hilarious because it was one of those matches. I think it was Scott Steiner and Josh Matthews versus Abyss, his alter ego or whatever, his lawyer ego, and Borash. Yeah, Joseph Park and Jeremy Borash.
Right. The Matthews Borash food.
Yeah, it was just really funny because it was just a straight wrestling match. It would have been asked because I think Josh Matthews wrestled maybe once or twice in his career prior to this. Even though he was trying to become a wrestler, he never really ended up doing it. But obviously the wrestling wasn't really that great, but it was just fucking funny. And Scott Steiner during the whole thing is just killing. If you haven't seen the show, but if you can find that match, I recommend you go find it. Just because Scott Steiner is so fucking hilarious during that match. Oh my god!
Right. I think something we were talking about earlier was what would happen if Scott Steiner was in charge of the fashion police. And that would work perfectly with the difference. And it would I would like that. I would love to see it for a couple episodes. It would obviously never happen, but I would.
Let's get to that later because I want to bring that up.
Before we go back to the Mae Young Classic, have you guys ever seen that skit where it's sometime in WCW, it's Scott Steiner and I don't remember who he was with, but just Scott Steiner and one other dude. Apparently I think it was Buff Bagwell, maybe. They end up getting in trouble with the police in Boston, and they have to.
Yes, I saw that.
Hand out tickets to people. Oh my god, that shit was fantastic.
It was Bagwell. It is like they got pulled over, but then the cops recognized them as Scott Steiner and Buff Bagwell. And so instead of arresting them, they're like, "Hey guys, you want to hand out tickets to people all day? If you do, we'll let you go." And so they just
like a bright spot in the shit scene. Notice WCW. God, it's so good. All right, so going back to the Mae Young Classic. Let's see. I'm gonna take a look at some of these matchups here.
Okay, how about I just take over and say who impressed you guys the most? I mean, Bhris is gonna say Kyrie.
No, I actually like Jazzy. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh.
Triple H needs to pull out that big wallet of his, get something going there.
Jazzy was good in the matches she had. I think for me, it was a combination of a couple of people because I had trouble picking one specific person. Obviously, Kyrie did really well in her matches, but someone in particular that stuck out to me was Piper Niven.
Oh, Viper.
She had two. Viper had two really good matches. I was like, she had the first round match with Santana Garrett, and then, she had two really good matches, and then like another really decent one. What was her other? Oh yeah, it was Serena Deeb. That one was fine, but she had like
Piper's like what Tamina should be.
Yeah,
that's it.
She's got that presence about her, but like, she's not just typical like, oh, I'm a big girl, therefore I'm a big scary monster sort of thing. She just seems like she's kick-ass, but also happens to be big. That's the vibe I get from her.
She's pretty endearing too.
She could be
kind of like how Nia is actually endearing a bit.
She could be a mini Braun Strowman.
How about you, kids?
Body Piper. I don't know. It felt weird. I feel like I didn't care enough about the people.
Like stuck out or someone you liked.
The way it was presented, it made me feel like I was just kind of watching just in a row. I felt it was kind of hard to get into and I didn't get to watch the first episode, like the first round.
Okay. You didn't miss much in the first round.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like, from what I heard at least, because I always go back and watch it and stuff. Like this one time when I can actually.
Aside the main events of each first round episode, you didn't miss much. Trust me.
Yeah, looking at my ratings and stuff, and yeah, the main event for each of the round one episodes is good, but then like everything else on those shows is like passable. Like, what was it? Zeta versus Shayna Baszler was like really, really short. Like, I think it was like a minute or two or something. If that.
I think they said that was Zeta's first match or something.
No, it wasn't Zeta's first match. Xia Li's. Yeah, against Mercedes. That was her first, like, straight up first wrestling match, apparently. Prior to that, she had only been working in the Performance Center.
That's a bold move.
Yeah.
But
she didn't look bad. Like, she had a cool moveset. I would like to see more of her.
I think the person who stood up, the combination for me was Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm. I think those two stood out the most to me.
Toni Storm was kind of weird for me in this tournament because I personally felt like she didn't really do much the first couple of rounds. Like, it was almost as if in her matches, taking like a backseat to her opponent and just kind of letting them do whatever and then beating them. I'll go through her matches. So first round, she wrestled Aisha Raymond, and that match wasn't really that good. It was just kind of bland because Aisha kind of sucks, to be honest. So that that match wasn't much of anything. Round two, she was up against Lacey Evans. That match again was fine. It was more trying. The issue with that match is that it didn't really end up being much of anything. Just like it should have been a showcase for Evans. Like, okay, Toni Storm is really good. What can you get out of her, sort of thing? And it was just kind of blah. And then round three, she had the match with Niven. That one was good. Obviously, just I guess they're like best friends or whatever. They're really good friends, so they were gonna have a good match.
And then she had Kyrie.
Yeah, which was my personal, match of the whole tournament. That match was fucking awesome. But yeah, it just seemed like early on she wasn't giving a fuck, but it just seemed like she wasn't really putting forth too much. The last couple of rounds, where it seemed like
I think mostly she showed off like character work in the Flash mostly, which is pretty good.
That's the vibe of it.
Yeah, when it came against the ones who were actually talented, you could see how well Tony does.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like she is a great wrestler.
Honestly, the analogy I came up with is she probably has what it takes to be like female HBK.
I get the vibe.
That's a bold statement, buddy.
I mean, like similar, not like.
I got you.
Yeah, it's like she's already got the '90s HBK glasses, so she's got a cute little hat. HBK wishes he could have a cute little hat, stuff like that. She's got the mannerisms.
Really young too, isn't she? Like she's really young.
She's 21.
She's 21. She's younger than me and Bhris and you.
God. Really young. What the hell? I thought she was older than that.
You're like 20, right?
I'm 21.
Okay.
You're 20, so she's your age.
I've heard conflicting on her age because some people say she's 21 and some say she's 26, which is really confusing me.
Weird.
I guess her being 21 makes sense. Yeah, God, that's young as hell. Been wrestling since 2009.
Yeah,
that would also make sense.
She tweeted it 6 hours ago.
But she's.
I am indeed 21, not 26. Don't know where that came from.
Well, there we go.
She's what?
She's 21. She just confirmed it.
I think maybe what it comes from is most people, you have to be 18 in the States to start officially. Add on the time she's been wrestling, and that's probably close enough to 25, 26. But in Australia, I think you can start as young as 13.
Yeah, there are definitely some other countries where I see much younger people wrestling.
Like Kenny Omega wrestling a 9-year-old girl. 13.
I think he was 12 or 13, something like that. Yeah, he was really young when he started.
Like you can
some of those dudes still like. So the means of how you is going to not going to pick up a sick backyard with like your little brother or sister and you're 6 years old. Like I guess that can kind of sort of count. Yeah.
As for my other pick, I think Mercedes showed her veteranship, on this, and I think she was a more believable Shayna. Being all BA and stuff.
Character, which is really cool. Just got a weird message from a friend of mine. I'm done with wrestling. And apparently he went to a house show. He went to a WWE live event, and it just completely broke him. And he's like, I can't.
Oh no, Bray broke him.
Like, well, that's fun.
It's a house show. I mean, what did he expect?
He had to learn the hard way. I don't feel bad at all.
Yeah, I've already gone on about how most of those live events are like with like one or two like aspiring things.
I know they try in the holiday live events because I went to the Christmas one, and fucking Cody Rhodes is over there doing fucking backflips off a steel cage and shit. So I know they try there, but if it's just a regular house show, I don't think they care as much.
Yeah, they really don't. They definitely phone it in. Like maybe like a particular wrestler will actually put in some effort if it's like if it's a place they like if it's their hometown or a particular town or city they're really into. But
I'm pretty sure 90% of their house shows make use of the guys they don't even use on TV. So you use R-Truth, Primo, and Epico. use guys like that, and no one wants to come.
I mean, that's what they do. Yeah, that's what I've seen on the cards. Anyways, they just use. If I were to bring up the most,
Case, finish your thought.
I think it's entirely dependent on the crowd. I think there was some guys like if people are willing, if like the crowd's is really into it, then I think they're a lot more inclined to
try hard.
But that goes for a lot of wrestlers. Like someone like Orton won't give a fuck if the crowd's dead, and he'll turn into a snooze fest. But again, a lot of the time, if the crowd's into it and like the guys aren't on TV a lot, they're more willing to like
just show up.
I remember he's not WWE yet, but Buddy Murphy was doing some sick moves in the independent scene, and I would see vines of him just doing these like awesome moves. But that's not like a WWE style thing to do that. And I forget what it's called. It was like a fisherman fireman thing.
Oh, the well hunt.
Yeah. And
that is a good move.
So it's one of my favorite moves.
It's like a lifting Olympic slam or something, kind of.
Yeah, it's
like a gutbuster into an Olympic slam.
Yeah, and he was doing that in live events. He was doing other stuff too, and I was like, why is this not a thing? Like
he does a shooting star press.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm just like, why aren't we doing this?
Well, Vince doesn't think the shooting star press.
NXT's best kept secret.
But the thing is
the trump card.
With the shooting star press, it's like Vince is afraid that people do it and they get injured because you can't injure yourself doing it.
Also, because like Juventude or Psychosis landing on some guy's head.
I don't remember who it was. I know Billy Kidman injured himself doing it too, and that's why I think he toned it down a bit.
He pulled after like Psychosis or Juventude, landing on Chavo's head wrong or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
2005 or so.
So he doesn't let anybody do it unless like they're really sure they can do it.
Yeah, it's like the suplex.
Like Evan Bourne could do it because he got massive height.
And Vince allowed it after a while.
Yeah, that was like 5 years after or so.
I found a recent house show. It was one of the shows. Right now, apparently the guy said the show was like, other than like one or two matches. Apparently, they did a battle royal to set up a #1 contendership for the IC title, and did full entrances for each of the competitors. The entrances went longer than the match.
Well, of course, when you got Finn Balor's 10-minute walk, you got the Hardys, you got probably a bunch of other guys.
Apparently, Balor and Bray had like long match. Like they had like a 15 or 20-minute match, and it was like not shitty. It was pretty good. And then it looks like the main event was Reigns and Strowman in a street fight, and they just did fucking nothing.
No chairs were thrown?
I think they may have used a couple of weapons, but it seems like they didn't really try to do much of anything at all. Apparently the crowd was dead, and they both looked dead.
Phoned it in.
Yeah, there's some like weird matchups here, like a 5-way women's match, like Alexa, Nia, Mickey, Sasha, and Emma. And yeah, there's some weird stuff.
What do you guys think of our final for the Mae Young Classic? We might as well talk about that a bit.
I thought it just kind of, I don't know. I didn't think wasn't really a great match. It was just kind of there.
It was above average.
Yeah, it was definitely good. It was definitely good. I just felt like it. I don't know. It was weird. It didn't feel like a finals match the way it was booked. Like there were some things about it that kind of gave the impression like Kyrie actually powering out of the choke, but I don't know. Like the way that the rest of the match was booked, it didn't have the feel of a finals match. It just kind of felt like almost felt like it was like a round 2 match or something weird.
I think it's like Shayna's inexperience. She's only been doing this for like 2 full years.
Yeah, she's still. She's got some work to do.
Her matches, she tries to make it into like an MMA fight instead of combining it into a wrestling match.
She can't do the Brock Lesnar correctly.
Exactly. She's trying to, like, okay, Brock, 280-some pounds, 6'2" guy. Shayna, 130 pounds, maybe 5'7". She's not that much bigger or weighs a bunch more than the other ladies, so it's kind of hard to believe into that.
Yeah, and hell, she's straight up smaller than quite a few of them, I think.
She's 5'7", 135 pounds.
Like, most of the women are like, what, 5'4" and maybe 110?
Yeah. So she might be the biggest one there.
But she shouldn't be no-selling them or anything, or,
yeah, she can't sell for shit.
That's one thing that makes Lesnar really good, is that his selling is one of the best.
Yeah, he'll bump for people when it's believable, and that's the best part.
Yeah, Lesnar's selling is really good.
Shayna's trying to be like, I don't know, Shamrock when they started out on selling, just not doing it.
Oh, shit.
I think one of the things that disappointed me in Kairi's performance is she did some kind of transition to set up the elbow. Like,
the elbow from the bottom corner?
No, I mean, like how she been, like, doing, like, a move in the corner, then goes up top for her elbow drop. I think she needs, like, an actual transition into that. So, like, some kind of, like, impact move in the corner, then goes up top and finishes them with the elbow. Because she's been doing, like, 3 different moves so far, and none of them look all that good, and it takes a bunch of time.
I like that elbow from the corner that she does.
Yeah, that's a good one, but, I mean, like, she needs a transition into her finisher.
I mean, she's learning the American style, so she'll get it eventually. It's not gonna happen.
I know. I'm just saying that was a problem I kind of had, is that it's gonna be obvious she needs some kind of transition move to do the top rope elbow drop.
I mean, does Neville really have a transition move?
I just wish it was more about her in a way, because, like, even though she won and everything, it seemed like it was more about her elbow than actually her, which kind of bothered me.
Yeah, I had to.
Like, you know, granted, if the fans want to see the elbow, you know, you should probably deliver the elbow, but, like, her finisher a little too much, because we all know her elbow drop is amazing. It is, like, the best elbow drop, like, ever. But more to her than just that. And I feel like they ended up putting way too much focus on that, and it kind of, like, hurt her as a result. So I feel like once people, that's something I'm afraid of, actually, is once people stop caring about the elbow so much, like, once they get used to it, then they might not care about her as much in general, which honestly kind of bothers me. So
just show her Twitter photos. Just show her Twitter photos and her being kawaii.
Oh my god, she's adorable. She's so fucking adorable.
She's good, man. She's good. She has me.
Of course, Bhris won't like us sharing photos of his Twitter girlfriend.
Goddamn right. She likes my tweets. It's getting kind of serious.
So that she's gonna be getting a title match at NXT Houston. I guess we assumed that was going to happen, but
we did, and we thought it was going to be a one-on-one or something. But I think you were the one who suggested it was going to be a multi-man.
Yeah, it made sense. Like when I saw it on the results or whatever, like the taping spoilers, I was like, oh yeah, see that, like 1000% makes sense, because I
don't think they were going to give the title to her right away.
I hope not.
No,
so
it doesn't.
Yeah.
I can see them doing it. Honestly, I don't think they should, but I can see them doing it.
That'll be a slap in the face to every woman in that locker room if it happens.
It would be.
see Peyton win it. I don't care. I want to see Peyton. I think
we don't even know the third person in that match. Well, the fourth person.
We do know of
2 of them.
Just 3 of them.
Yeah.
Umbra Moon.
She needs more work before they give her a title.
Really?
I do like her.
Her character work is just...
her needs work, honest. But, like, she's so good. She's really, really good.
No, she's good in the ring. It's just her character work.
Ember's good in the ring, but me and Quote have this problem where she doesn't live her character. It's just kind of weird. She's supposed to be this mystic, wicked witch kind of thing, and you don't get that vibe.
As dumb as it sounds, like, is she... I feel like sometimes they're as good as her finisher is. And, like, that's what got Corbin a lot of hype at first. Like, this dude had an unreal finisher.
And then he had nothing behind it.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, she has actual stuff.
Her matches are good. It's just she has no character.
I mean, if she was, like, willing to, like, embrace the warrior kind of thing, like Apache war paint.
Yeah,
like, if she really wants to commit to it, I'm sure she can commit to it. But, like,
no, because I pretty much know that NXT you could basically do what you want. In a way.
I'm more of a Velveteen Dream kind of guy.
I love some Patrick Clark. I popped for him the same way I popped for Strowman that first night we saw him. Case was there. He popped with me.
I did pop.
But I wouldn't mind an Ember win, but figure out her character. Speaking of figuring out characters, we learned that Asuka's going to Raw too.
I mean, did we really think she was on SmackDown?
We figured Raw more, but we figured SmackDown could also use her. Raw made more sense, though.
Yeah, Raw definitely, like, I guess the better fit for her, just given the general vibe of the show.
Yeah. The question is if they'll let her continue her. No one's ready for Asuka and 500 win streak.
Well, yes.
I don't know if she'll go on a crazy streak, but she is going to tell everyone that no one is ready for Asuka. Like, I think we're going to get a little...
I just hope she doesn't just start losing randomly.
Oh, of course not. No, there's no way. I mean, like, I understand, but I feel like if she's going to lose to anyone, it's going to be because of, like a triple threat and they both do their finishers to her. Like, I could see, like, picture this, like, Sasha and Bayley and Asuka triple threat, and they just keep doing finishers to her, and then they finally pin her, and then there's a big moment, and then they start wrestling. Because that's what, like, quote-unquote people want to think.
Don't be bad. I just hope Triple H, stands up and is like, yeah, Vince, I'm not letting you ruin this one. Not this one. Because we know Vince's track record. Triple H is really protective of Asuka so far.
He's protective of Bobby Roode too, and we haven't seen him in 2 weeks.
Don't worry, he's gonna end up hurting Ziggler at some point.
Speaking of Ziggler, how did we feel about that Ultimate Warrior thing?
I thought it was in poor taste.
I laughed. I thought it was funny.
I didn't mind it.
With his widow in the crowd.
Yeah, I didn't like it because
that was weird.
I didn't like it because just make fun of the current day wrestlers. Like, I mean, it's like I'm not
he did Macho Man the previous week. I didn't hate that either.
The Warrior situation's a little different just because of how he went out, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not here to get triggered. It was funny, but I feel like what's the difference between doing that and doing, let's say, I'm sure he'll do that eventually, and then there'll be a feud.
I mean, I think it fit because that's exactly what Warrior is considered to be: is all flash, all entrance, no substance. And I think it actually fits. Sure, there's a bit of poor taste to it, but I think it actually fits. Or his Data Warrior probably signed off on it or was at least okay with it, even if her tweet says otherwise.
It was probably just the work.
Yeah, I could see it.
I mean, they patch things up. I don't think they do something in poor taste like that so soon after.
Or without her permission.
Exactly. I mean, it's just like how they used Paul Bearer for the Punk Taker feud, and his kids were okay with it. I figured she's probably okay with what they did with Warrior and Ziggler. So I don't think it was really in poor taste. I think it fits the character, and it helps push it as like, yeah, we're trying to actually get this going.
Looking at pictures of Tana Arconti because she has a 6th set of abs.
Jazzy's apparently signed.
Also, I was been working. I guess she did the Undisputed Era. I guess she will if she's going to join that stable. That's. I didn't hate her in the Mae. Her first the head with Lacey Evans. No, that was the first round match. That's what I meant. No, I didn't think much, but at the same time I did. It was kind of weird.
This is Conti, right?
The head was better than it had. Like a blow-away match, but I was expecting the match to be a fucking train wreck, and it was actually okay. Some cool stuff. Also, I love the fact that Lacey Evans has the finisher. It's such a move.
I'm just gonna say here, Lacey Evans is my pick for a PC girl to be part of the big future for the company. She's got the look. She's not that bad. I think she kind of gets it. She gets it.
Yeah, she just needs to work on her in-ring stuff a bit more because she's still kind of green in that aspect. But that's not something that'll completely, be too far in the future. I think if she just works really hard at it over the next year or two, I think she'll see a ton of improvement. Just a bit uncomfortable in the ring. I don't know, the way that she delivers some of her moves, it just doesn't feel too believable. But, her character feels believable. Where it's I'm 100% behind her, and then she starts doing moves, and I'm like, maybe I should hold my breath. Good. I do get good vibes from her. So,
character work she's got the most essential thing that they need to figure out and then work on. They need to be solid in the ring, but they also have to figure out their character. And she has her character.
She is figuring that out, which is cool.
Ooh. I feel like even with the certain WWE superstars, I have that criticism sometimes, which kind of saddens me because I shouldn't be. But that whole I was a fan until I watched them do some moves, and I'm just what? Sometimes that's how I feel with Natty. Or it's mainly the female wrestlers. Some of the guy wrestlers are kind of awkward with it too, but it feels a little more fluid. I can't watch Natty wrestle.
That's understandable.
There's just a lot of
5 or 6 years ago, Natty was the best woman on the roster, but she's just kind of slacked off.
Yeah, and
I don't know what's going on with Natty.
She's the champion.
Yeah, but even before that, the past couple of years, she's kind of declined in ring ability. And that's not to say she was ever the greatest female wrestler alive, because she was always
she was
pretty good.
Team.
Too with her is that it's really hard to be technical when you're not fluid.
She should just kind of be more power game.
Yes, and I don't know.
Maybe Striker.
No, it just doesn't. I don't like the whole woman striker thing outside of Asuka. It's never felt believable. You do it, and I'd be like, No.
Yeah, you have to really be presented as like just a savage killer.
And for striking, you have to be fluid too.
Maybe it's the
true. Yeah,
cost.
Incredibly fluid.
The pink and black jacket instead of her dominatrix uniform. Maybe she'll improve again.
You get quote?
What was that quote? Who disconnected?
I'm not. Refresh. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of her current look. I feel like
it's weird.
I feel like it clashes with her wrestling style. Like she apparently is really into it. So like that's I don't know. It clashes with how she wrestles.
It's not that I don't like her gear. It's that I've been watching the same thing for 6 years, and I'd like a slight change.
I'd just like her to go back to this pink and black jacket.
I want a character outside of bad puns, and like that was her. I don't think she's really had a character outside of like, I'm angry.
Cat puns.
Yeah, exactly. I just want a character outside of cat puns. I don't care if it's awful. Because
they missed out on making Tyson Kidd her manager. Fun manager. I know he was personality-less before the fact thing, but then he just figured that out, and it just became so much fun.
I really like Tyson Kidd and Cesaro.
I figured, like, even if they wrestle again,
they were so fun as a tag team.
Just make Kidd his manager. That'd work. Yeah, because if there's one thing that he can do really fucking well, it's be a douchebag. He's a really good douchebag. He's such a whiny, annoying piece of shit. It's awesome.
If he could like take it really seriously and be like a momager, but like still be himself, that I could see that.
Put him opposite of Ellsworth, Carmella Natty with Ellsworth and Kidd in the corner.
I would 100% do down with that. Now they're saying, big fan.
I mean, I think it'd be fun.
I would just like to see him do something.
I think my main thing is like they go with the safe option a lot, and that's fine. But like even if they like mess up on things, I'd rather them messed up than not go. Like just keep going with the safe option,
right?
Because that's what keeps it boring. And even if like the risky decision didn't work out, you may get a fun moment out of it.
Yeah.
The old day.
Yeah, just throw darts at a dartboard until something sticks.
Yeah, basically. I don't know. Like I watch it because I enjoy watching it, and so like watching the safe option often is just like, well, I could have guessed this before I watched, and that's not fun.
I mean, what would be awesome about that is that because none of the women outside Charlotte on SmackDown can talk, really, adding Tyson and Ellsworth just having a promo battle for the women would be a lot of fun.
Love me some
Ellsworth. My god.
Ellsworth is good at what he does. I mean, did you see his tweet? Ellsworth, in 1 year, debuts on Raw, has a Mania moment, Royal Rumble moment, etc. It's like so much in like 10 months, like a year.
Yeah, he's living the dream, man. Like
even with Nakamura too.
Yeah, like the dude is seriously like
he's making the most of this.
Like he's set. Like he's set for life, man. Like even like whether he ends up just staying with the company for like the rest of his life and works out to some sort of like run, or whether he just kind of goes after a few years, like he's made his name. Like people know who he is, and he'll be like respected forever, even though he was essentially just a jobber. And even on the indies, he wasn't really anything too special. Like, yeah, I think he won like maybe some sort of tournament and did like a couple of cool things, but it was never really like you mean. So it was, really cool to just see him, I guess, like level up or just rise up through the ranks of wrestling or whatever. It's just, I don't know. It's just really cool to see him where he is right now. Just
the most.
Dude, James Ellsworth is going to be the new leader of the Bullet Club.
The big hard Bullet Club.
Also, he has a good super kick. I will say that.
Music.
I could see it. That was hysterical. When I first heard that was like one of the funniest things I've heard in WWE for a while.
And it came from Otunga, no less.
But Otunga is like, yeah, but that ended up that one super kick did so much. It made everybody in the arena go ballistic. Best call from Otunga I've ever heard.
Only call from Otunga.
Yeah, the only good call he's ever made. Like, it's, oh my god, fantastic. All right, what do we have for time, Bhris?
We're at
just over an hour.
An hour and 5.
All right, we could probably wrap this up in a sec.
Wait. I do have one thing I want to bring up.
Yeah, all right.
Not everyone watches it because it's 205 Live.
Oh my god, I completely forgot about that.
On 205 this week, about the halfway point, if you want to skip the matches because you might find them boring because they're cruiserweights, Drew Gulak had a promo.
Oh yeah.
Last week he was interrupted by Akira Tozawa. Earl wasn't there tonight. Gulak showed up. He continued. We got a cameo of Okada's ring gear on a King of Fighters, I think, character.
No, I think it was King from Tekken, because you can get Okada's jacket as attire for.
Yeah, and the new one.
There's also a few characters that have Bullet Club shirts in the game.
Yeah, and so with that, he starts off, and then we get police sirens because we're in Vegas. Why not? Nigel McGuinness makes a great line of, "What did we do something on the strip last night?" Good chuckle for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I honestly thought Scott Steiner was showing up because it was a Scott Steiner police siren. But we get Fandango. The Fashion Police show up, and they get the biggest pop I think I have heard from 205 Live ever.
Which is sad in a way.
They're kind of like, but like I feel like the Fashion Police are legitimately over.
They are,
but I kind of want to see what happens.
Exactly.
And like I actually enjoy watching Fandango and Tyler Breeze wrestle sometimes. Like
they are good.
They're not down.
And the funniest thing is, I mean, they get the biggest pop, and then Dango. Okay, what happened is Tyler Breeze started saying something about them having getting complaints about someone in very tight underwear running around and making a mockery of fashion on 205 Live, and he goes in this entire rant about it. They don't even hate underpants. Tyler Breeze starts listing off all these kinds of things, and you get Fandango just going, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." Boxer briefs, thongs, G-strings, and then Tyler goes depends, and Fandango almost got caught like, wait, what?
But
and
they're amazing.
I know what he's getting at.
And then Fandango gets all up in Gulak's face, and Gulak points for Gulak. He does not corpse. Dango's just all over his face, like so up close he could kiss him. Gulak does not corpse.
They were rubbing noses and like foreheads, and it was really fun.
Yeah. And then Gulak has enough of this, so he storms off, like pushing Dango aside, and so they arrest him for assaulting a fashion officer, and they just have this entire stupid sequence of Dango arresting him while in his fashion Miranda rights, and it was
the right to a fashion consultant.
Yeah, anything you wear can and will be seen in a mirror. If you do not have a fashion consultant, one will be like provided for you or something.
Oh man, if there's one thing that I could say about 205 Live this week, like the matches were whatever, but character work.
Yes.
Just fucking.
Like, okay, if there's any, I encourage everyone, YouTube version, because it comes with the Pop Brizongo guide. But just load up however you can watch 205 Live, cut about to the 24-minute mark, and just watch the Drew Gulak segment with the Fashion Police.
It's also uploaded. It's also on WWE, like the YouTube chain, like they have everything.
The YouTube, the YouTube cut most of it, like the Brizongo pop and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you want to hear them get an insanely loud pop, go watch it however you can with the full version. Trust me. That's where I got the idea from Reddit also, is that Scott Steiner should be Brizongo and Brizongo's police chief of fashion and stuff. Can you imagine that? Like, have skits where Scott Steiner sitting at a police chief's desk and Brizongo brings in all these fashion crimes and stuff. They let the hot women go, but they chastise and mess with all the ugly people.
I mean, Scott Steiner made wearing chainmail look cool. Like, what the hell can I say? Like,
I mean, you can start playing along with the like big Prada pump.
Exactly.
You can make a thing out of this.
Exactly. It's the one thing we never thought of, but the one thing we now know we have to have.
It's a good idea. I'm all behind it.
Also, Gallagher went heel, which was really cool.
Yeah. If anything, 205 Live is good characterization for the cruiserweights. Like, Raw doesn't use them right, but 205 Live is becoming a really good show.
It's weird because, like, you know, you don't really think much of the matches, but, like,
it's
all the character stuff in it.
It's fun to watch. Like, it's becoming really fun to watch.
It's a really easy show to watch. Like, also the commentary is really good too. So that Vic Joseph guy, like he's not bad.
He's okay.
He kind of came out of nowhere almost. Like I just remember seeing him pop up on like I don't know what it was, like main event or something one day. I don't remember what it was, but he just appeared. I was like, I have no idea who this guy is. I didn't hear of this guy getting signed or anything. But okay.
I think he was working. Wasn't he the backstage guy for NXT for all the while?
Might have been.
Maybe. I don't think that's kind of
in the NXT interviews. I don't know what it is. I just don't find the NXT interviews that interesting to listen to, so I always skip over those.
I think he might have been. I never caught his name, but I think that might be the same guy. And they were impressed with how well he was doing. They kind of promoted him kind of quickly.
Yeah, that's fine though. Commentary's been good. Also, they have Nigel there now for commentary.
Nigel took over for Corey.
Yeah,
so
for 205 Live.
It should be good. But yeah, if you watch anything on 205 Live this week,
I'm probably gonna go watch that again because I saw like bits and pieces of 205 Live, but I didn't watch the whole thing. I need to just go back and do that.
Like the opening match of Swan and TJP was because they tried to do more technical instead of being fast paced. But
the crowd was also pretty dead by this point because they just sat through. Not only did they sit through the 2-hour SmackDown, but they also had to sit through the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah.
God, I wonder how late it was at that point.
Well, it was in Vegas, so it should probably have been 10 or 11-ish.
It was probably not.
It was 10 or 11.
Vegas is what? Mountain time?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Actually, it might even fit into Pacific because it's that far west.
Yeah, it's Pacific.
See?
Should be.
It's far west. It's like on the border of Mountain Pacific time.
Cool.
I think that kind of covers this week, outside the fact we didn't really talk about the fact Braun Strowman no-sold Brock Lesnar.
Do we really need to talk about that? Come on.
No, we don't.
Thank you.
We just need to know Braun Strowman's amazing.
I didn't really like Raw much, other than a couple of the promos, to be honest.
Wait. We should talk about the Miz promo.
Woo! That was my favorite thing on Raw.
How can we forget Miz and Enzo?
I felt a little bad.
I kind of did too.
That's the point. You feel a little bad for Enzo, but it's like he deserved it.
Yeah, Enzo's a douche.
And he cheated on Liv Morgan, that piece of garbage.
Okay.
Fuck you.
We'll put it this way. It's no secret. I don't like The Miz, okay? I respect The Miz. I don't like him. But this is the one instance I really, really like The Miz.
Why don't you like The Miz?
Okay. I respect for everything. He started out low and then he worked his way up. I respect his character work and all he does. But his matches are just meh. And he's just only as good as the opponent he's with. He never actually tries to go beyond and try to be good in matches. So, I just don't like him.
I think he wrestles a boring style, but I think he's had, legitimately a very good matchups.
He's a good opponent, he hangs. But if he has a bad opponent, it's like he doesn't try. Good opponent, he hangs, but he never tries to outshine them.
I mean, he's at that point of his career that he doesn't need to try. He's been in there for 10 years?
I think
That's
more.
2005, so 12 years.
Well, he's at that point. He shouldn't have to try every match he's in.
Well, no, but I mean, it's just kind of been that way all the time for me. And then suddenly he does this stuff on SmackDown and everyone's jumping the Miz bandwagon. So it's like...
You're not wrong.
But my problem stems from before his time on SmackDown, so... I respect the Miz. Don't get me wrong. I do. I'm not a big fan.
I was happy to see Enzo get beat up. That's my thought on it. When he was just getting pummeled, outside the ring, I wasn't mad. I was actually kind of annoyed that Enzo came out when Miz was in the middle of his speech, even though that was obviously the intention. I was just like, this is a really cool moment. They're having a baby. That's really cool. And then this fucking twerp Enzo comes out. And I'm just like, man, I don't like Enzo. I think some of what he does is funny, but I'm not anymore. I'm just kind of tired of him.
Honestly,
yeah, I think it's...
Just think 20 years from now, we can get King Maxwell versus Miz Jr. if it's a boy.
Don't tease me like that.
I was kind of hoping, I'm kind of hoping that their kid is a girl, so they can feud with Birdie Joe.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
It'd be wonderful.
I think that about sums it up.
Yeah, it's been an interesting time in the wrestling world. There's been some cool women's wrestling. There's been some wackiness on Raw and SmackDown.
There's been the one random New Japan show that even Meltzer hates.
Yeah, Fukushima was awful, dear God. That lumberjack match, main event.
Dude, I don't think a single match got over 2.5 stars from Meltzer.
He may have given one of the matches 3 stars, but I was watching it. I ended up going back and watching it, and it was just really boring. It wasn't necessarily the train wreck that some people are describing it to be. It's just that all of the matches were just really just tiring to watch. And the main event was dog shit.
Wasn't the main event Suzuki versus Elgin?
Yeah, Suzuki versus Elgin for the openweight title. And I was actually because
that doesn't sound like a main event match.
I think it can. It definitely could be, but they've been booking Suzuki horribly the past few months because they've been the normal Suzuki-Gun bullshit of just having them interfere all the fucking time. So, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, Suzuki-Gun, they interfere and just make every match really fucking lame. What did we do? Let's get a shitload of Suzuki-Gun members to surround the ring. That's a smart idea. Yeah. Fuck. God,
it doesn't feel like a main event match either way.
Well, there's going to be another show today, so hopefully that one is better.
I'm into Elgin Famous stuff, and Suzuki's grown on me, but it feels like that should be like in the mid card somewhere instead of main eventing a house a road show.
Not wrong.
There's going to be another one today. I don't remember what the main event for today's show is. I think it's junior heavyweight title?
Tanahashi, Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, it's the IC title match. Okay. That'll actually be really good.
That doesn't sound bad. Anytime Tanahashi's in the main event's pretty good.
Yeah, and ZSJ's been good in Japan, refreshing because he was kind of boring before that. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this week. We are going to try and make this a more regular thing. I don't know how the schedule is going to be for the show moving forward because I'm going to be busy during the week. I don't know if that means we'll have to record every Saturday from now or every Friday from now on.
I'm fine with either day.
Yeah, I'm down with doing it like this time every week just because I'm going to be starting classes again, so it won't line up well.
I'll be here whenever necessary.
Yeah, thanks for being on the showcase. It was good to have you on.
We'll get Case to do his best Scott Steiner impressions.
I'm basically Scott Steiner, so
it's the best. Yeah. It's the best. We'll just have Case do Scott Steiner impressions for half an hour.
I'm down. I can't think of a better idea.
Sounds amazing. Yeah, so I'm Quo, and I'll see you guys later. And Bhris, you can have your final words, you son of a bitch.
Fuck the Young Bucks and fuck Peef.
My name is CasedVictory!